All right, so are you ready to dive into some geothermal technician interview prep?
Let's do it.
Okay, so imagine this. You're sitting across from the hiring manager,
Mm.
and they're excited about your resume, and now you've got to show them you've got the skills and the knowledge to really excel in this field.
Absolutely, and that's where RoleCatcher comes in.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about RoleCatcher and what they do.
So RoleCatcher has put together a whole suite of resources that can really give you an edge in the interview process.
Right.
They've got career guides that break down exactly what this job entails, and they've got interview guides packed with real questions asked by real hiring managers.
So no generic advice.
Yeah,
It's tailored to this specific career path. I like that.
exactly.
So before we jump into those questions, let's paint a picture for our listener. What does a geothermal technician actually do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, you're kind of like a superhero for sustainability,
I like that.
harnessing the Earth's natural heat to keep buildings warm in the winter and cool in the summer. You're installing and maintaining geothermal systems, troubleshooting problems, and making sure everything runs smoothly.
And from what I'm seeing in the RoleCatcher Career Guide, this isn't just some niche field.
Hmm.
The demand for geothermal technicians is growing like crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely. The guide mentions the global geothermal market is expected to reach over $80 billion by 2030.
Wow.
That's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
And companies are scrambling to find skilled technicians to keep up with this growth.
Yeah, that's got to be music to our listeners' ears.
Right.
But let's be real, this isn't a walk in the park.
Uh-huh.
The guide also mentions some challenges, right?
Absolutely. You'll be working with complex systems, sometimes in tricky conditions. Think tight spaces, maybe even extreme temperatures.
Oh, yeah,
It can be physically demanding, and safety is paramount.
for sure. For sure.
But hey, anyone up for this challenge is clearly someone who likes to roll up their sleeves and get things done.
That's the spirit. Okay, speaking of getting things done, let's jump into those interview questions. RoleCatcher has a whole stack of them, but we've handpicked a few to really get you thinking.
Perfect. So let's imagine you're in the hot seat. The interviewer smiles and says, "Describe your experience working with geothermal systems."
Seems straightforward,
Right.
but what are they really after here?
They don't want to see, if you've got the practical hands-on experience to hit the ground running.
Okay, so it's not just about lifting the jobs you've held.
No, not at all.
It's about showcasing how those experiences translate into real-world skills that are relevant to this specific role.
Exactly.
So think back to any projects, internships, even coursework where you got your hands dirty with geothermal technology.
Yes.
Now, what if our listener is fresh out of school and doesn't have a ton of direct work experience?
Okay.
Should they just be upfront and say, hey, I'm eager to learn?
Honesty is key, but don't underestimate the power of transferable skills. Even if you haven't been installing geothermal systems professionally, maybe you've tinkered with HVAC systems in your own home, or you've got a knack for electrical wiring. Highlight those experiences and connect them to the requirements of the job.
I love that. It's about showing initiative and a willingness to learn.
Exactly.
Now, the RoleCatcher Career Guide has a section with profiles of different geothermal technicians at various career stages.
Yeah.
Did any of those stand out as a good example for answering this first question?
Yes, the profile for a mid-level technician really resonated with me.
Right.
They talk about leading a team on a complex retrofit project, overcoming unexpected challenges, and ultimately delivering the project ahead of schedule and under budget. That's the kind of story that will grab an interviewer's attention.
It's not just about what you did, it's about how you did it.
Yes.
Now let's say the interviewer nods approvingly and then hits you with this.
Yeah.
How do you troubleshoot and diagnose problems with geothermal systems? That's where things get a bit more technical, right?
Definitely. Here they're looking to see how you think on your feet and approach a problem systematically.
So it's not enough to just say, I'm good at fixing things.
No, not at all.
So you want to walk them through your process.
Yes.
Imagine a heat pump is acting up. What are your first steps?
Right.
Do you check the control panel?
Yeah.
Inspect the refrigerant lines? Use diagnostic software?
Right.
The key is to demonstrate a logical and thorough approach.
Exactly.
And I'm betting the functions and core ability section in RoleCatcher would be super helpful here.
Absolutely. It outlines the essential skills like understanding system operations, troubleshooting techniques, and repair procedures.
Okay.
Weaving those into your answer shows you've done your homework and you understand the technical demands of the role.
So instead of just saying I'd check the pressure, you could say, based on my understanding of heat pump operation, I'd start by checking the refrigerant pressure to see if there are any leaks.
Exactly. It shows you're not just blindly following a checklist.
Yeah.
You're thinking critically about how the system works. And don't forget to mention any specialized tools or software you're familiar with. That always adds credibility.
Great point. Now, let's imagine the interviewer is impressed with your technical knowledge.
Okay.
They lean back and say, how do you ensure safety for yourself and others when working on geothermal systems? Clearly, they're prioritizing a safety-first mindset, which is huge in this field.
Huge is an understatement. Geothermal systems involve electrical components, heavy equipment potentially working in confined spaces. Safety is non-negotiable.
So how do we answer this without sounding like a broken record?
Yeah.
Just reciting generic safety procedures.
Specificity is key. Don't just say, I wear safety glasses. Talk about the specific types of personal protective equipment you'd use in different situations. Mention any relevant safety training or certifications you have.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide talks about potential hazards like working at heights, right?
Yes. Referencing those hazards and outlining your mitigation strategies shows you're not just aware of the risks. You're actively thinking about how to minimize them.
For example, you could say, knowing the dangers of trench collapse, I'd always ensure the excavation is properly shored before entering.
That's perfect. You've shown you understand the risks associated with geothermal work, and you're prepared to handle them responsibly.
Okay, I'm feeling more confident already. But we've only just scratched the surface. We'll come back, and we'll tackle even more challenging interview questions and dig deeper into RoleCatcher's AI magic.
Sounds great.
Don't go anywhere.
See you then. Welcome back. So for round 2, I thought we could test your technical knowledge a little bit.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so imagine the interviewer says, explain the difference between vertical and horizontal geothermal systems.
So they're digging a little deeper here.
Yeah, exactly. They want to know if you can articulate the pros and cons of each approach and ideally connect that knowledge to real-world applications.
Okay, so how do I nail this answer? Should I just give a textbook definition of each system?
You could, but let's make it more engaging. Think about it like you're advising a homeowner on which system is right for their property.
I like that. So for a horizontal system, I might say if you've got a large yard with plenty of space, a horizontal system could... What's next on our list?
Okay, let's get into the heart of the system, heat pumps.
Okay.
The interviewer might ask, how do you maintain and repair geothermal heat pumps?
Okay, so it sounds like they're looking for more than just basic troubleshooting skills.
Yeah, you're right. They want to know that you understand the inner workings of a heat pump and can handle both routine maintenance and more complex repairs.
So what are some key things to highlight?
Well, think about it in terms of preventative care and reactive repairs. For maintenance, you could talk about checking refrigerant levels, inspecting coils, cleaning filters.
But those are all things that a homeowner could probably do.
Yeah, you're right. But you can elevate your answer by mentioning specific tools or techniques you'd use as a professional.
Okay.
For example, I'd use a digital gauge set to accurately measure refrigerant pressure.
That shows you're not just a DIY enthusiast, you've got the professional tools and knowledge.
Exactly.
What about repairs?
Well, the RoleCatcher question guide mentions common issues like compressor failure or faulty heat exchangers. Being able to describe those repairs, even in general terms, will show you're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
And I'm guessing mentioning any specialized training you've had in heat pump repair would be a good move?
Absolutely. Highlighting certifications or specific courses you've taken shows you're committed to professional development.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to a question that's all about getting the most out of a geothermal system.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the question?
So imagine the interviewer asks, how do you ensure the efficiency of a geothermal system?
Okay, they're testing my knowledge of optimization and fine-tuning.
Yeah, exactly. Efficiency is key, especially in today's world where everyone's looking to save energy and reduce their environmental footprint.
Yeah, so it's not just about tweaking the thermostat. It's about understanding how all the components work together
Right.
to affect the overall performance.
Precisely. You could talk about the importance of proper insulation, regular maintenance to prevent leaks or blockages, and using advanced controls to adjust the system based on real-time conditions.
I bet real-world examples would really drive the point home.
Oh, you bet. Maybe you could say something like, in a previous project, I noticed that the ground loop wasn't properly sized for the building's heating load. By recommending a larger loop, we were able to significantly improve the system's efficiency.
That shows that you're a problem solver who's passionate about optimizing performance.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say the interviewer is impressed with your knowledge, and then they say, can you walk me through the process of installing a geothermal system?
Oh, okay, this is a big one.
Yeah. Where do we even begin?
Well, the RoleCatcher question guide breaks it down into manageable steps: site assessment system, design drilling or excavation, and system installation. You don't need to be an expert in every single stage,
Right.
but you should be able to speak intelligently about each one.
Okay, so I might say, while my expertise is primarily in the installation and maintenance of heat pumps, I understand the importance of proper site assessment to determine, and then I could talk about factors like soil conditions and available space.
That's a great way to frame it.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging your strengths while also demonstrating a holistic understanding of the project.
Okay.
Now let's shift gears to a question that's all about staying ahead of the curve.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the question?
So imagine the interviewer says, how do you stay up to date with the latest advancements in geothermal technology?
The ever-evolving world of technology.
Right, it's all about continuous learning.
No.
They want to know that you're not content with the status quo, that you're actively seeking out new knowledge and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So how do I demonstrate that I'm a lifelong learner?
Be specific. Mention industry publications. You read conferences or webinars. You attend online forums you participate in.
Okay.
Even podcasts like this one.
Ooh, good plug.
And don't be afraid to geek out a little. Talk about a specific technology or trend that you're particularly excited about. Maybe it's the latest advancements in ground source heat pumps or the integration of smart home technology with geothermal systems.
I like that.
Showing that enthusiasm and genuine interest can really make a difference.
Okay, let's wrap up this round with one more question.
All right, here it is. How do you manage a geothermal project from start to finish?
Okay, they want to see the big picture, not just the technical detail.
Exactly. Think about the key stages of a project: planning, scheduling, budgeting, execution, and monitoring progress. Describe your approach to each of these areas, using examples from your past experiences to illustrate your skills.
For example, I could say in a previous project, I used project management software to create a detailed timeline, track progress, and communicate updates to the team and the client.
Perfect. And don't forget to highlight your communication skills. How do you keep clients informed? How do you collaborate effectively with team members? Those soft skills are just as important as your technical abilities.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of ground today. I'm feeling way more prepared to handle those tricky interview questions.
Me too. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to something we mentioned earlier: the power of RoleCatcher's AI.
Okay.
It can take your interview prep to a whole new level.
All right, so we're back and ready to unpack that last tool in the arsenal.
Yes, RoleCatcher AI.
RoleCatcher AI. So specifically, the beats the automated recruiter section.
Yes, this is a game changer.
Yeah, so talk to me about what this section is all about.
So a lot of companies now use applicant tracking systems to scan resumes and shortlist candidates.
So before you even talk to a human, your application has to pass muster with an algorithm.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just like a bouncer, these systems have certain criteria that they're looking for: keywords, skills, specific phrases that match the job description.
So it's like having a digital bouncer guarding the door to your dream job.
Yes, and that's where RoleCatcher AI comes in.
Okay.
It analyzes those job descriptions and helps you tailor your resume to make sure it's speaking the ATS's language.
So it's not just about stuffing your resume with every possible buzzword.
No, not at all.
It's about being strategic and highlighting the skills that are most relevant to that specific opportunity.
Right on RoleCatcher, AI helps you craft a resume that's both human-readable and machine-friendly. It's like having a secret decoder ring for the digital world of hiring.
Now, some folks might be thinking, isn't that a bit sneaky?
Hmm.
Like, am I trying to trick the system?
That's a fair question. But think of it this way. You wouldn't show up to an interview in your pajamas, would you?
Probably not.
You'd dress professionally to make a good impression. Using AI to tailor your resume is similar. It's about presenting your skills and experience in a way that aligns with how these systems work.
So it's not about being deceptive. It's about being effective.
Exactly.
It's about understanding the rules of the game and playing strategically.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, your qualifications and your passion for geothermal technology will shine through. The AI is just helping you get your foot in the door.
That's a great analogy. So RoleCatcher AI helps you craft a resume that grabs the attention of both human recruiters and those digital gatekeepers.
Yes,
Okay, it's like having a double advantage in the job market.
absolutely.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive on geothermal technician interview prep, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about technical skills, problem-solving, safety. All those things are crucial elements for a successful geothermal technician.
For sure.
But there's one more ingredient that I believe is absolutely essential.
What's that?
Passion.
Yes.
Passion is what fuels your drive, what makes you excited to learn and grow, and what ultimately makes you stand out from the crowd.
And in a field as innovative and impactful as geothermal energy, passion is contagious.
It really is.
It inspires your colleagues, motivates you to go the extra mile, and ultimately makes a real difference in the world.
So as you embark on your geothermal career journey, remember to let that passion shine through. Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and never stop learning. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of geothermal technician interview prep.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you feel confident and ready to tackle those interviews and land your dream job in this exciting world of renewable energy.
Absolutely. And remember, RoleCatcher is your ally every step of the way. Their resources and AI tools can help you navigate the job search process with confidence and success.
All right, until next time, stay curious, stay motivated, and keep digging deep.
See you on the next deep dive.